Salute to the absolute. It's your boy, the absolute. And y'all know why we're here today. We're talking about 5 reasons you may not be losing belly fat. I got my notes with me, and we're going to jump right in, right? But before I get to the first point, let's just talk about what is belly fat. So, by my definition, to simplify it, belly fat is basically a layer of fat, cellulite, or excess that covers the stomach. Alright, so we're talking about the abdomen area, aka the stomach. So if you hear me say the abdomen, I'm referring to the stomach. If you hear me say lean, basically what lean is, that refers to the amount of body fat on someone's body overall. So that could be anywhere on their body, you know. But since we're talking about the stomach particularly today, that's what I'm referring to. If you hear me say that person's lean or they'll lean out, we talking about that area. Alright, so let's jump into the first one, right? Actually, before we do that, it's important to know that to do everyday functions, get up, think, breathe, listen, like simple stuff like just wake up, your body needs a certain amount of calories. You know, calories are energy. Your body is like a machine. You know what I'm saying? It's like a car. You gotta fuel it with something. We fuel our bodies with calories. We fuel the cars with gas. But it's the same concept, okay? So you need a certain amount of calories just in general to sustain life and to do everyday functions. Because if you are too low on calories, you won't have that energy. You'll be tired all the time. So for people who want to lose weight, gain weight, or maintain their weight, I want you to listen to this. There is a free source on the internet. I believe it's called caloриecalculator.com. .net, I believe it's .net. You could go up there. It's going to ask you your age. It's going to ask you your gender. And it may ask you your weight or desired weight. And you type that information in. Once you type it in, you hit calculate. When you hit calculate, it's going to give you the amount of calories you need for the day to maintain the weight that you're currently at, to lose weight, or to gain weight. So that's going to be important to know, you know, as I'm going through this video. Just keep that in the back of your head. It's I believe it's called caloриecalculator.net. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. Just go up there, you know what I'm saying, type in your information, boom, you'll have all of that. Screenshot it, keep it in your phone, and anytime you need to look back and see, you know, about your calorie intake, look at that. So let's jump right in. So the first one, right? You're not being mindful or tracking your liquids. And when I say track, I'm not referring to like with a pencil and paper and you writing down every little thing you drink or eat. Like that's annoying. I'm just saying be mindful, take a mental note and say, okay, I'm drinking such and such today, or I drank this today. And then just kind of do a guesstimation of what amount of calories that might have been. You know what I'm saying? So throughout the day, a lot of us have maybe 4, 5, 6 different drinks. You know, in the morning we might, let's say, have some orange juice. You might have some cranberry juice or coffee, whatever you're drinking. In the afternoon, people typically drink sodas and juice, you know what I'm saying? And the same at night. And we're not being mindful of how many we're having, and that the amount that we're having, even though it may be a little bit, like that little can of soda that you buy, that's equivalent to maybe 230 calories. I'm just going off the top of my head. And in some cases, it could be 400. So you have 2 of those, that's already 800 calories. And mind you, the typical person needs somewhere between maybe 1,800 to 2,500 calories and up, just depending on how much you weigh and how big you are, your size, how tall you are, things like that. But think about that, like those 2 little drinks already equated to 800 calories, and that's a big chunk of the calories you needed for the day. So be mindful of that, alright? The next thing I want to talk about is shots. So I know a lot of us go out on the weekends, we go out with our friends, we have a good time, you know. Some people drink, and I want you to be mindful again in the back of your head that those little shots, even though it's not a lot, is anywhere, on average it's about 100 calories, but it could be anywhere from 90 to 120 depending on the liquor. So be mindful when you throwing those things back. Like, okay, you did 3 or 5 shots that night, that's 300 or 500 calories, give or take, depending on how much, you know, you consume. And then not only that, a lot of us will have the shots and still be drinking out a bottle you feel me? So we not really mindful of how many calories we really consuming just off of liquids alone. A lot of people think liquids and just think, or calories and just think food. So a lot of people think calories and just be like, oh, well, I'm not eating this and this and I stop eating this. But it's like, yo, what about what you're drinking? Most people are not mindful of that. So that's the number one point. Be mindful of what you're drinking. You might have to cut back on some things. You might have to cut some things out. All right. I'll say the best bet, more water, less juice, less sodas and things like that. It'll make your life a whole lot easier. All right. Number two, not doing enough cardio. So when I say not doing enough cardio, it's three components to this. Consistency, frequency, and intensity. So some of those go hand in hand, but let's talk about the first one. So consistency. How often are you doing this cardio? Are you doing cardio once a week, once a month, once a year? You know what I'm saying? Cardio is a big aspect of getting lean or cutting down on that body fat. Cardio is going to be your best friend. You know what I'm saying? And there's different forms of cardio too. We'll get into that after this point. Alright, so like I was saying, you want to be consistent. You want to be running as much as you can throughout that week and the following week. You know what I'm saying? So if you got to go in the morning, go in the morning. If you got to go in the afternoon, go in the afternoon. If you do your cardio at the gym, on the treadmill, on a Stairmaster, whatever you're doing, make sure you're being consistent with it. That's going to help. Most people start it, and they start off well, they lose motivation, then they stop. That consistency is going to be key. It's going to determine how fast you burn that fat amongst, keeping track of everything else, your eating habits and things like that. But cardio is a big aspect right there. So you need that consistency. So frequency, that's kind of similar to consistency, but how frequent are you doing it? All right? Like, you might be being consistent, and consistent can be you going once a month. And you might have ran once a month. That's 12 times a year. That's consistent, but it's not frequent. You want to do it often. So when you're doing it often, like I said, you want to be doing it at least 3 to 4 times a week. That's really what's you're going to see a noticeable result. You're going to lose a lot of water retention that's just on your body from just drinking liquids in general. So that's how you'll see the best results. If you could do more, do more. And if you can't, just do what you can do. The last one, intensity. So you want to be intense. So when I say intensity, you're not going to see results doing 5 or 10 minutes of cardio and just disappearing and coming back and doing it again. If that's all you got time for, all right, cool. But I would say at least 30 minutes to an hour of cardio if you're doing it 3 to 4 times a week at the minimum. That's gonna make sure you get the best results, because a lot of people start to get tired when they do their cardio, and then after that they just pretty much just give up. So you want to stay on top of that, and you just want to make sure you keeping that intensity up, that heart rate really going, because that's really where you're going to see your best results. All right. So let's hop into number 3, right? So you're eating too late. So when I say you're eating too late, what I mean is at a certain time of night, your body pretty much shuts down. And when I say shut down, I just mean your internal organs say, all right, yo, we off the clock. All right. So basically, some people say 9, some people say 7. I think it's 10 around that time. You should put the fork in, and you should put everything down pretty much. Excuse me. And the reason I say that is because anything you eat after that time, pretty much, like I said, your body, it shuts down, and it's like, yo, anything you put in me after that time, I'm going to push to the side. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to push it to the side, and I'm going to store it as fat. And pretty much, you're going to sleep. So on top of eating, you're not burning that by walking or, doing your everyday activities. So now you just ate something, you're about to sleep. On top of your body saying, I'm not doing nothing with this anyway. So that's not the best thing to do. So I would recommend after 10, you just cut off all eating. If anything, drink something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe have some fruit if you have to have something, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend eating after that time. All right. So the next point, you're when you're eating too much. You're not eating to be content. You're eating to be full. So I used to do this as well. No one ever tells you, yo, eat till you're content, not to be full. So we might have a full plate of food in front of us and think because it's in front of us, we gotta finish it. But that's not the case. It's always cool to eat what you can. And then when you satisfy, you content, you be like, all right, you know what? I had a rest for later. It's better that way anyway, you know. We get home, sometimes you hungry and you be like, oh yeah, I got them leftovers in the fridge from the other night. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the best feelings anyway. So yeah, make sure you're not overdoing it. Another thing is when we do overdo it, sometimes we tend to eat, and then after we eat, we catch the itis, we get sluggish. Well, that's because you overdid it, and now your body shuts down in order to process all that food you just ate. And 9 times out of 10, we didn't eat something that was nutritional to our body. We probably ate junk anyway, so now you get hit twice as bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we typically catch the itis, because your body's saying, you put too much in me, so now I'm going to pull energy from, everyday function so I can concentrate on my organs, basically processing all the food in your body that you just ate. So that's why a lot of people get the itis on top of a lot of food we eat we shouldn't be eating anyway. So let's get into that next point, right? So when you work out, you're not working out enough or with enough intensity. So overall, you're just not working out properly. So when I say you're not working out properly, basically I'm just referring to, in general, working out. A lot of people get in the gym, and I've seen this myself personally, and they'll come in, you could tell pretty much who's new, because it's a lot of looking around. They playing with the machine, don't really know what to do. You'll see them watching other people, and then that person might leave the machine, and then they go and try to do what they're doing. So when I say you're not working out properly, you want to go in there with a plan. All right, what you working on today? Are you doing a full body workout? You working on your back, your legs? What part of the legs? The quads, the hamstrings, the calves? You doing chest? You doing shoulders? Arms? Like, you doing cardio? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? And when you figure that out, you can have it in your notes on your phone, whatever, the game plan. You figure out, okay, what machines do I want to use today? All right? Typically, you want to do, they say 3, but for beginners, do anywhere from 2 exercises for the same muscle group. You know what I'm saying? 2 to 3 for advanced people. Some people do 5 to 6. You know what I'm saying? So I say maybe about that 3 range is the sweet spot. So just have a plan. Understand that, okay, if I'm doing legs, most of my workouts should be surrounded and leg-based workouts, leg-based equipment. I shouldn't be chest pressing, then I'm doing legs, and then I'm doing abs, unless it's like a full body day type thing, So that's what I mean by working out properly, and then you want to keep a high level of intensity and do it in a good amount of time. Whereas, like I said, you could tell sometimes who's new to the gym because they come in, and sometimes you don't even have to be new. Sometimes you could be going for a while, you just don't know what you're doing. So it's good to have somebody with you. But I'll see them come in and they'll use a machine here or there, and then they hit from here to there to there, and they might have did like 1 set, then they jump to the next one, do 1 set, then they sitting there looking around on their phone, and then I see them get their bag and leave. And I'm like, bro, I watched you come through the door 30 minutes ago, not even 20 minutes ago, and you didn't do enough intensity to see results, so you're not working out properly. So even if you went every day of that week, which is not good, you still won't see a lot of results because the amount of intensity that you're putting in is not enough. The amount of time under tension that you're putting your body through is not enough. So you want to make sure when you hit the gym, at least 30 to 45 minutes if you're a beginner, an hour if you're advanced and up, you know what I'm saying? So I would recommend overall just being consistent with that and keeping that intensity, because that's going to keep your heart rate up, elevated. You're going to sweat more, you know what I'm saying? You're going to grow, literally. and just mentally as well, because you'll learn different aspects of just working out and being in the gym in general. So I think that might be it. I think that covers everything. I think I'm gonna leave y'all with a bonus. But before I do that, one more thing about working out properly. Like I was saying, when you do that, when you come in the gym and you just do 2 or 3 exercises, then you leave, those people typically, a lot of times, they're not focused on, just getting the best results for themselves. They're looking at their phone, they're looking around. When you're in the gym, just focus on you. F what everybody else is doing. Just do what you could do, you know what I'm saying? People feel self-conscious, I understand that, but eventually that goes away. The gym is a warm and welcoming place, but best believe, there's nothing but support in there, trust me. Despite how it may look, if you go to a decent gym at least, but all the gyms I've been to, it's always been nothing but support, So that being said, don't go in there, come in for 30 minutes, and for 5 minutes you looking at your phone, the other 5 minutes you looking around, and the other 5 minutes you in the locker room. That means you only worked out for 15 minutes. That's pointless. So come on, let's not do that, alright? But this last one, some people need to track their calories. So this goes back to basically what I was talking about in the beginning, the calorie calculator. Yeah, once you go up there and you figure out what you need in order to sustain or maintain your body fat, decrease it or increase it, whatever you're doing, you want to be mindful if you're taking this serious and just track your calories. If you're tracking your calories, even if you guesstimating, that keeps you in a better range opposed to somebody who just is oblivious. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely going to exceed the amount of food that you need for that day. So that being said, I appreciate y'all coming by. That's 5 reasons you may not be losing the belly fat. I appreciate y'all. If y'all made it this far, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Trust me, we're going to be coming with tips and more videos soon. Make sure y'all stay absolute, and I'll catch y'all next time.